This is so.
Hi guys, hope you're well and you're staying safe. I'm back and motivated to make another video for you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to make a video on the workout routine that I use at home. And I say home, as you know, right now we're in quarantine. Hopefully we'll be out of it soon. But anyways, and naturally I do more exercises in the gym because I am a little more motivated in the gym. But these exercises that I'm going to show you for this home workout is pretty simple. Again, don't get skewed by all these different videos that you're watching. Oh, this person said this and that person said that. Just stick to one thing and go with it, because in the end you're going to see results. And you can just always add little things along the way. Trust me, it works. Stick to it. Anyways, let's get right to it. So this video has 3 parts. The first part, I'll be getting into stretches. Not only stretching your glutes, but also stretching your hip flexors. For those of you that may not know, hip flexors are those muscles that your lower body uses in order to support actions such as walking and running. Without those, we wouldn't be able to walk or run. And those 3 muscles are literally located right above your thighs. So it's 1, 2, 3. If you want to know the names of the muscles, there are the rectus femoris, the psoas, and the iliacus. And you're saying, why does it matter if we have tight hip flexors? When your hip flexors are tight, it could cause back pain because it's short. When those muscles are shortened, it causes back pain. It's harder for you to activate your glutes when those muscles are shorter or more tense. So once you stretch those muscles, you'll find that it's easier for you to engage your glutes. And like I said, I'll be getting into some stretches where you will be stretching your glutes at the same time. Side note, hip flexors and the glute muscles are opposing muscles. So once you stretch one, you'll find that it is easier for you to activate the other. They go hand in hand. So, and then step 2, glute activation. See, because of the nature of our lives these days, we do sit a lot. You may have an office job or etc. And because of that, your glutes basically get a little lazy. In order for your glutes to engage and activate while you're doing these exercises, it's better to activate them. So in order to wake them up, so that when you are doing the exercises, you're like, oh, okay, I can isolate the glutes and actually feel them burning instead of either your legs, your quads taking over before your glutes start firing. So like I said, I'll be going into some glute activation exercises, and after that, the actual glute routine that I do. It's not very long, it's effective, and again, this is not all that you can do. There's always things that you can add, but this is what I've been using at home to stay consistent. So here we go. Okay, so our first stretch right now, place both soles of your feet together just like I am right now. Bend your legs and make sure you're pushing them out towards the floor as much as you can. And then lay down, continuing to hold that posture. And now with your hands or just by yourself, try to push those legs as close to the floor as possible. And that will be stretching your hip flexors right now. You will be feeling it right in this area. And do this for about 2 minutes. And I say 2 minutes because if your hip flexors are tight, it'll take about that much time in order for them to feel a little looser. So do that for 2 minutes and I'll see you in the next stretch. So the second stretch, we're getting into more of a sumo squat position. Feet are further than shoulder width apart slightly, and we're squatting down. And as I come down, I hold my ankles from the front, as you can see, and I squat down, let your body go, and I push out slightly with my elbows against my knees so that I'm stretching out my legs, so that I stretch out my hip flexors. You will feel it definitely a little more than just without. So again, do that for about 2 minutes and then we'll get to the third stretch. Okay, and the third one, you guys have probably seen this stretch a lot. And we are going to be taking our knee to our chest, but a little variation that I do that I find that stretches my glutes and my hip flexors at the same time is when I bend my knees when I come in. So come in, lay back, hold your calves or the front of your leg like this, and you're pushing in at an angle. So I feel my glutes being stretched, and I can feel that my hip flexors are being stretched. And you can go one step further if you want to hold the bottom of your soles and push from the front of your foot and push it all the way back. That way you are stretching your glutes and your hip flexors. Hold each side, left and right, for about 2 minutes. At the end of these 3 stretches, you're going to find that your hip flexors and your glutes are much more loose. And then we can now skip on to the glute activation exercises, where you will feel your glutes fire up even better than if you just did the glute activation without the stretches. So on to the glute activation exercises. So we're at a 90-degree angle right now with our legs, and we tense our glutes as we come up, and we pause at the top for about a second. We're doing jumping squats here as our second activation exercise. So I'm using a lighter dumbbell, 8 pounds here. I'm going down slowly for 3 seconds, pausing at the bottom for a second, and exploding upwards, engaging my glutes. Glute bridges are the glute activation exercise. Make sure your feet are not too tucked in close to your butt nor too far away from your body. And as we come up and squeeze, we want to make sure that we are not hyperextending our hips, that it's in line with our body. And as we come up, we're squeezing our glutes and coming back down, and try to push your back as close to the floor as possible. That's it. Our first exercise of the routine, Bulgarian split squats. So what you'll be doing is using a heavier dumbbell, coming down for 3 seconds, pausing at the bottom for 1, and exploding upwards using this heavier weight, and supporting yourself with your other foot. So we're doing weighted glute bridges with a medium weight. We're going to be finishing off our workout with 1 set of 30 reps non-stop. This is a constant tension method. We have to make sure that we squeeze at the top and our lower back is as flat to the floor as possible so that our pelvis is tilted inwards.